The third week of August, 17th, 23rd, is not like any other. Something about this week carries a hidden weight, an energy shift that won't wait for you to be ready. As a chosen one, you'll feel it before most. If you're aligned, this week can move you further than the last 3 months combined. But if you ignore the signs, the same energy can work against you. Stay alert. Stay aligned. This is the week everything begins to make sense. Check spirituality, astrology, astronomy, universe. If you are hearing these words, it's no coincidence. The universe does not waste signs, and in this third week of August, it isn't speaking to everyone, but whispering directly to your spirit. While many will live seemingly normal days, you will feel an invisible pressure in the air, as if time is denser, as if something greater is approaching. These signs are not random noise. They are keys, and ignoring them can cost you years of your spiritual journey. Stay here because in the next few minutes you will discover the veils that are tearing, the portals that will open before you, and the golden thread of destiny that, once revealed, never returns in the same way. The universe does not repeat opportunities. It only offers them once, and this is your time. If you are hearing these words, it's no coincidence. The universe does not waste signs. It only releases messages for those who are ready to receive them. At this very moment, it's not just an external voice that echoes to you. It is the cosmos itself, whispering directly to your spirit, asking you to awaken, to see what many cannot. The third week of August is not a common milestone. It is an inflection point, a moment when the energy of earth and sky meet in a rare alignment. It's as if invisible layers are being peeled back, revealing what was always there but remained hidden. While the majority will live seemingly normal days, you, sensitive, chosen, awakened, will feel the intensity, the density of the air, the strange pulse within your heart, and the dreams that seem more real than the day itself. This is not a trivial warning. It is a calling. Ignoring the signs can cost you years of your spiritual journey, because when the universe opens a window of revelation, it does not stay open forever. It's like a shooting star. Those who look up at the right moment witness the miracle. Those who get distracted lose the instant and never get it back. This week, the veils will shift and invisible portals will be before you. Some will feel only confusion, others will feel pain. But those who know how to read the signs will realize that this is initiation. What seems like chaos today is, in fact, a rare opportunity for realignment with the golden thread of destiny. Throughout this video, you will discover the secrets the universe is about to reveal, the veils that are tearing, the symptoms your body manifests not as weakness, but as a spiritual antenna, the 3 invisible portals that will emerge to test your consciousness, the mirror of timelines that will show what could have been, the temptation of appearance, which will confront your authenticity, the battle of whispers, fought in your own mind, the moon as the final judge, sealing cycles, and, finally, the golden thread that will guide you to a new chapter of existence. This isn't just information, it's a map for traversing a week that will decide destinies. The universe has already extended the invitation. It's up to you to decide if you will have the courage to stay awake until the end of this revelation. There are weeks that pass like ordinary pages in a book, but there are those that function as entire chapters, marking turning points that cannot be undone. The third week of August is exactly that. Not just any interval, but a moment when the veils separating the visible from the invisible begin to tear. Imagine reality as a great fabric, sewn by invisible threads that keep dimensions apart. In weeks like this, these threads become tense, vibrate, and some break, opening subtle rifts from which the light of mystery escapes. For most, nothing will be perceived. But for the awakened, it's like crossing an invisible bridge that only appears to those with eyes capable of seeing. This collective energy manifests in symptoms that seem mundane, but carry spiritual depth. A pressure in the air you can't explain, sudden mood swings, dreams so vivid they feel like coded messages, a sharper intuition that breaks through logic. What seems like instability is, in fact, the approach of dimensions, worlds that touch for an instant, allowing you to touch the invisible. This is not just an astrological event, though the heavens participate in it. It is something greater, a temporal portal, a point of convergence where past, present, and future seem to mix. You may find yourself remembering old things with unusual intensity, as if you are revisiting unlived lives, and at the same time feel an urgency for what has not yet arrived. It's destiny calling for your attention. And there is a crucial detail. This alignment does not happen randomly. It comes to reposition souls that were out of sync, to realign paths that got lost in detours, to open opportunities that can only be seen by those who are not afraid to cross the unknown. The tearing of the veils is uncomfortable because it forces you to see what was hidden. Masks fall, truths emerge, illusions crumble. But this is the true gift: clarity. And only with clarity is it possible to take the next step on the spiritual journey without stumbling over the deceptions that once surrounded you. If you feel the different weight of these days, do not fight against it. It is the universe pushing you to cross. Accepting this call is the key to understanding the portals that will open before you, and the first of them is already pulsing within your own body. You may have felt in recent days an unexplainable fatigue, strange aches and pains that come and go, sudden dizziness, or even an emotional weight that seems to have no cause. Many call this burnout, others stress, but the truth is that your body is not breaking down. It is being recalibrated. Think of a musical instrument. Before a big performance, the strings need to be tuned. The process can create tension, even unpleasant sounds, but it is necessary for the symphony to be played in perfection. In the same way, your body is being tuned to carry new spiritual frequencies. What you interpret as a collapse is, in reality, preparation. At this point in the journey, you need to understand, the body is not a burden. It is the temple where cosmic consciousness chooses to dwell. It is not just matter. It is an antenna, capable of capturing signals, intuitions, and invisible energies that escape the ordinary eye. When the veils tear, as they do this week, the body is the first to react, because it is where the invisible seeks to anchor itself. That is why you feel the symptoms in your physical body before you even understand them in your spirit. The pains, the sensitivity, the intense dreams, all of this is a reflection of energetic realignment. Your nervous system is like an electrical grid that needs to withstand more tension, and for this reason every fiber, every cell, enters a state of adjustment. This process doesn't come to punish, but to expand your capacity to carry light. It's like enlarging a chalice. Before, it could only hold a few drops, but now it needs to hold an entire ocean. The fatigue is the body creating space to accommodate more than you thought possible. Therefore, instead of rejecting what you feel, learn to embrace it. Pain is a sign of growth, tiredness is a sign of expansion, and even the emotions that seem heavy are actually old layers dissolving. When you recognize the body as a spiritual antenna, you don't fight against it but honor it, understanding that it is an essential part of your initiation. And it is precisely because this inner temple is being tuned that you will be able to cross the 3 invisible portals that are approaching. They do not reveal themselves by chance. Only those who can withstand the recalibration can see the crossing. When the veils tear and the body is tuned like a spiritual antenna, the next step of the journey is revealed: the crossing through invisible portals. They are not in physical temples nor in external rituals, but within the human experience, manifesting as forces that test, teach, and initiate. This week, 3 portals open for the awakened, and each of them requires more than perception. It requires courage. The portal of emotion. The first is the most intimate and perhaps the most challenging. Emotions arise with disproportionate intensity to the moment. Unexpected tears, anger that sprouts without reason, joy that explodes in small moments. The test is not to resist or deny, but to observe. Those who are dominated by the wave drown. Those who learn to surf discover that emotion is the key to releasing ancient memories. This portal invites you not to run from what you feel, but to ask, what is the root of this emotion? The portal of reflection. The second portal appears in a subtle but equally transformative way. It is the mirror of the timeline. You may encounter people, situations, or memories that reflect the life you almost chose to live, careers you failed to pursue, loves that never materialized, paths left behind. This reflection can hurt, but it does not come to punish. It comes to close cycles, to teach acceptance, to free you from the weight of parallel universes that no longer belong to you. Looking at the reflection is recognizing, that could have been, but it isn't, and that's okay. The portal of the voice. The third portal is internal, silent, and perhaps the most dangerous. It opens in the mind, where thoughts and voices compete for your attention. Some whispers are intuition, others are illusions disguised as truth. The test here is to discern. The true whisper of the soul brings peace even when it challenges you. The false one brings confusion even when it seems easy. This portal teaches that spiritual survival is not about hearing everything, but about knowing who to give space to within your mind. Before we continue, if this video is being helpful to you, please subscribe, leave a like, and share your experiences in the comments. These 3 portals are not punishments. They are rites of passage, necessary steps for the awakened to become capable of carrying more light. Each one of them touches a different layer of your existence, feeling, remembering, and thinking. Those who manage to cross them do not leave the same, because they discover that each test was in fact an initiation. The universe does not give secrets to closed hearts. It is necessary to cross the portals to receive the complete vision. And by passing through them, you will understand the next great phenomenon of this week, the mirror of timelines. There are moments when you cross paths with reflections of what could have been. It is as if the universe places before you alternative versions of your own life, lives that were not lived, but that remain as dormant possibilities. This is the phenomenon of the mirror of timelines, one of the strongest signs of this week. You may meet a person who pursued the career you almost chose. Maybe you see a couple living the love you once desired, or suddenly, a lifestyle appears before your eyes that seems like a parallel version of your existence. This can generate pain, nostalgia, or even regret, but it is not about spiritual torture. It is about liberation. This mirror works like a foggy pane of glass. You see something you recognize, but you can never touch it. The proximity is real, but the distance is impassable. It is in this paradox that the learning lies, accepting that what could have been is not, and that the energy you spent looking back now needs to be released for what lies ahead. The emotional impact can be intense. You may feel tempted to question every past choice, to think about untrodden paths. But the goal is not to generate regret. It is to teach acceptance. Every life you did not live was necessary so that the life you live now could be possible. The mirror is not a punishment. It is a closure. By crossing this reflection, you learn to let go. And letting go is not giving up. It is freeing yourself from the weight of timelines that no longer belong to you. When the soul understands this, it makes space for new opportunities to arrive. After all, how could the golden thread of destiny unroll if your hands are still tied to the ropes of past versions? This is one of the deepest tests of this week, looking at the mirror without getting lost in it. Because those who get stuck in the reflection lose the portal, but those who accept it cross into the timeline where the future already awaits them. After crossing the mirror of timelines, an even more subtle but equally powerful test arises, the temptation of appearance. It is the Venusian energy manifesting, bringing to the surface the desire to be seen, admired, accepted. This portal does not reveal itself with violence, but with seduction. It whispers that you need to mold yourself to fit the gaze of others, that you need to shine according to the external reflection and not according to your own essence. It is at this point that many get lost. After all, who doesn't want to be recognized? Who doesn't seek approval? The challenge here is not to deny beauty or reject radiance, but to understand where it really comes from. The universe teaches that true light does not depend on applause. Just like the stars, they do not ask anyone to look at them in order to shine. They simply shine, and it is precisely this authenticity that makes them eternal. This week, you may feel comparisons more intensely than ever. You will look at others and ask yourself if you are late, if you are living less, if you should be somewhere else. But understand, this comparison is the trap. The temptation of appearance is to believe that external validation is more important than internal validation. The test is not to defeat others, but to defeat yourself. Spiritually, this is one of the most critical moments, because when you give your light to the gaze of others, you lose your center and weaken the golden thread that connects you to destiny. True brilliance is born from within, from the spark that no reflection can extinguish. The external may even deceive for a time, but the internal is what sustains you. This portal teaches that authenticity is the true victory. The call is clear. You don't need to deform yourself to fit into molds. You don't need to paint yourself with colors that are not yours for others to see you. The true awakening is to walk naked of masks, even if the world prefers fantasies. If you can cross this portal without letting yourself be caught by the temptation of appearance, you will emerge stronger, more whole, and more aligned, because the soul that knows how to shine on its own, without depending on anyone's reflection, is the only one capable of clearly hearing the whispers that will follow. After facing the temptation of appearance, you enter an even more delicate territory, your own mind. This is where the most silent and, at the same time, the most decisive battle takes place, the battle of whispers. This week, thoughts can multiply, like echoes in a dark room. Some bring comfort, others bring doubt. Some enlighten, others confuse. The challenge is not just to hear, but to discern. For not every voice that speaks within you belongs to your soul. Many are just illusions disguised as truth, shadows that infiltrate to divert the path. The metaphor is clear. Imagine yourself in a room full of echoes. You speak, and your own voice returns. But between one echo and another, sounds arise that were not yours, imitations that try to pass themselves off as your essence. This is the invisible scenario of the mind, and it is in this space that the spiritual battle takes place. The true whisper of the soul is different. It brings peace even when it challenges. It brings clarity even when the path seems difficult. The false whisper, on the other hand, is treacherous. It promises ease, but delivers confusion. It sounds sweet, but leaves a bitter taste. Here is the great test. Not to follow the loudest voice, but the truest one. And how to recognize the difference. By the fruit it bears within you. Authentic intuition brings expansion, makes the heart breathe deeply, opens up space. Illusion brings tightness, weight, anxiety. One path can be difficult and still be true. Another can be easy and still be empty. This week, silence will be your greatest weapon. When voices compete for space, choose to pause. Turn off the noise around you, breathe, and allow the deepest voice to reveal itself. The universe does not speak in shouts. It speaks in whispers. And only those who silence the noise can hear the real call. The battle of whispers is not a punishment, but an initiation. Because only the soul that learns to distinguish between illusion and truth can make the next crossing. And it is precisely this crossing that the moon, in its cycle, will come to seal, as the final judge of everything that has been opened up to this point. There are moments when the sky not only illuminates but also judges. This week the moon assumes this role, not to open new cycles, as many believe, but to seal what has already been written. It becomes a cosmic tribunal, an invisible stamp that marks the choices made, closing chapters and confirming destinies. Imagine the scene, a spiritual room, where every action, every thought, every intention is placed on the scales. The moon does not decide for you. It only reflects. It is the mirror that shows what has already been determined by your own choices. It is like a judge who does not create the law, only applies the sentence. Until the day of the new moon, you may feel a different urgency, as if there is little time to adjust what needs to be adjusted. It is the feeling that something is closing, that the spiritual clock is about to sound. This is not baseless anxiety. It is the cosmos's own call for you to take your position. The metaphor is powerful. The moon as a judge does not ask if you are ready. It just announces that time is up. Everything you insisted on holding on to, everything you should have already let go of, will come to the surface to finally be resolved. Some will feel this as a weight, others as a liberation. The difference will be in how each person responded to the previous portals. This lunar tribunal does not condemn. It purifies. It removes what cannot move forward, closes doors that no longer make sense, and confirms those that remain open. It's like crossing a border. Some documents are stamped, others are withheld, and only the essential goes with you. Therefore, this week, it is vital to ask yourself, what am I still holding on to out of fear? What should I have already let go of? What do I need to protect to take with me? This reflection is the key to crossing the lunar judgment without resistance. When the moon seals the cycle, there will be no turning back. What is ended will remain in the past, and what is confirmed will become a definitive part of your path. This crossing is not about waiting, but about deciding, because from this seal, the golden thread of destiny will begin to reveal itself before you, and it will be the one to lead you to the next chapter. After the lunar tribunal, something almost imperceptible begins to manifest, the golden thread. It does not appear with bangs or obvious signs. It arises in subtle details so delicate that only the attentive can perceive it. It can be a phrase said by someone at an unexpected moment, a seemingly casual encounter, a repeated number, a coincidence that insists on showing itself. But none of this is chance. It is the thread of destiny revealing itself before you. Think of this thread as an invisible line sewn into the fabric of the universe. To ordinary eyes, it seems just a lost detail in the immensity. But when you recognize it and have the courage to pull it, you discover that a whole new chapter begins to unfold. Each pull of the thread reveals hidden stories, opens paths, and unlocks doors that seemed locked. This thread is subtle because it does not belong to everyone. It is not displayed in shop windows but hidden in small gestures, in silences full of meaning, in encounters that seem accidental. The universe does not give away secrets by chance. It hides them in what the majority ignores. And that is why only the awakened, those who have learned to cross the previous portals, can recognize it. The golden thread is definitive because it does not come back. It presents itself once at a specific time and disappears if you do not have the courage to hold it. It's like a shooting star. Either you look up at the right instant, or you lose that brilliance forever. Therefore, this week requires vigilance. It's not about waiting for big spectacles, but about paying attention to the smallest detail that holds the whole. And there is an even deeper secret. The golden thread not only connects you to a destiny, but to a higher version of yourself. It is the line that links what you are now to what you came here to be. By pulling it, you not only enter a new cycle, but you awaken a level of consciousness that has always been latent within you. Being awakened means this: having eyes to see the thread that everyone else ignores. And when you pull it, remember, it is not the universe that chooses for you. It is you who decides if you will have the courage to cross what has already been prepared. We have reached the end of this journey, and perhaps now you realize that this week is not just another mark on the calendar, but a true cosmic rite. The veils have torn before your eyes, revealing layers that were previously hidden. The body, which seemed fragile, has proven to be a temple and a spiritual antenna, tuned to receive frequencies that few can withstand. You walked through the three invisible portals, that of emotion, which tested your depth, that of reflection, which showed the lives left behind, and that of the voice which taught you to discern between truth and illusion. Next, you faced the mirror of timelines, felt the temptation of appearance, faced the battle of whispers, and saw the moon rise as a judge, sealing cycles and confirming destinies. And then, finally, the golden thread appeared before you, discreet, subtle, but full of power, a detail capable of changing entire chapters if you have the courage to pull it. The message the universe brings is clear. This is not the time to wait passively, but to be awake, conscious, and attentive, because the cosmos does not force anyone to cross. It only places the thread before you. The decision is yours, and your courage to pull that invisible line will determine whether a new chapter will open or if you will continue to repeat the past. Remember, the universe speaks in whispers, and only those who silence the noise can hear. This week is an invitation, not just to observe, but to act, to align with what has already been prepared for you since the beginning. If this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video so more people can wake up to what is happening now.